Oh my God.
The sun came up slowly over the dry land. The sky turned from dark to orange and pink. In a hidden canyon far away from people, a mother horse stood very still. She was watching her baby sleep. The mother horse had dark brown fur. Her body had many scars from living in the wild for so many years. Life had been hard for her. She had faced storms, hungry wolves, and long days with no food or water. But when she looked at her baby, her eyes were soft and full of love. The baby horse was very small. He was only 3 weeks old. His legs were thin and shaky. His fur was so light it looked almost white in the morning sun. He looked like a little piece of cloud that had fallen from the sky. The baby was born on the worst night the canyon had ever seen. The storm was terrible. Thunder made the ground shake. Lightning cut through the black sky like bright knives. Rain poured down so hard it felt like the sky was falling. But the mother horse stood strong that night. She protected her baby from the wind and rain. She kept him warm and safe. In her heart, the mother horse had given her baby a name. Horses do not talk like people, but they still name the ones they love. She called him Light. He had come into her dark world like a star breaking through clouds. He was her hope. He was her reason to keep fighting. Every day since he was born, the mother taught her baby how to stay alive. She showed him where to find water when the land was dry. She taught him which green plants were good to eat and which ones would make him sick. She showed him how to smell danger in the wind. She taught him when to run and when to hide. The canyon was their home, but it was also like a cage many years ago. The mother horse had run free with a big herd. They ran across wide open lands where the grass grew tall. The wind was in their hair. The ground shook under their hooves. They were wild and free. But then bad men came. Hunters with guns, ranchers with ropes. They chased the wild horses away. They separated families. They broke the herds apart. The mother horse ran and ran until she was all alone. She wandered by herself for a long time. She almost died many times. Then one day she found this hidden canyon. It was a secret place. The tall rock walls kept her safe from hunters. A small spring of water came out from the rocks. Wild grass grew in patches on the ground. It was enough to live on. This became her home. And here, in this hidden place, she had her baby. The only baby she would ever have. He was everything to her, but life in the canyon was not easy. The walls that kept them safe also kept them trapped. They could not leave to find better grass or more water. They had only what the canyon could give them, and sometimes the canyon did not give very much. The baby horse woke up. He made a small sound and lifted his head. His mother walked over to him. She touched her nose to his face. She breathed in his smell. She wanted to remember everything about him, his soft fur, his warm breath, the way he looked at her with trust in his eyes. The baby stood up on his wobbly legs. He was still learning how to balance. He walked to his mother and pushed his small nose against her chest. She was warm and strong. She was his whole world. The mother horse lowered her big head. She touched her forehead to her baby's forehead. This is what horses do when they love each other. It is a promise. It says, "I am here. You are safe. I will protect you." In that quiet morning moment, everything felt perfect. The sun was warm but not too hot. The baby was healthy and strong. They had water to drink and grass to eat. The mother horse felt something she had not felt in a long time. She felt peace. But she also felt something else. Deep inside, in the place where animals know things that humans cannot explain, she felt a warning. Change was coming. Danger was near. The peaceful days would not last. The desert is beautiful, but it is not kind. It gives life with one hand and takes it away with the other. The mother horse had lived long enough to know this truth. She had seen the desert kill strong horses. She had watched the land turn from green to brown in just a few days. She knew that water could disappear like a dream. She looked at her baby playing in the sun. He was chasing a butterfly. His little legs jumped and kicked. He did not know about danger yet. He did not know that the world could be cruel. He only knew his mother's love. He only knew safety and warmth. The mother horse decided something in that moment. No matter what happened, she would keep her baby alive. Even if the rain stopped, Even if the grass died, even if the water disappeared, she would find a way. She would give everything she had, because that is what mothers do. They fight. They sacrifice. They give their last breath to save their children. The sun climbed higher in the sky. The heat began to build. But for now, in this one perfect morning, a mother and her baby stood together in their hidden canyon. They were alone, but they were together. They were safe, but not for long. The desert was watching, and soon it would test them in ways they could not imagine.
The next few days were good days. The mother horse and her baby lived quietly in their canyon. Every morning, the baby woke up full of energy. He would run in circles around his mother. His legs were getting stronger. He was learning how to gallop. The mother watched him play. She ate the grass slowly, always keeping one eye on her baby. She loved to see him happy. She loved to hear the sound of his little hooves on the ground. These moments made all her hard years worth it. The baby was very curious about everything. He wanted to smell every rock. He wanted to taste every plant. He would see a bird and try to chase it. He would see his shadow and jump away from it. Everything was new and exciting to him. His mother taught him carefully. When he tried to eat a bad plant, she would push him away with her nose. When he went too close to the steep rocks, she would call him back. When he got tired, she would stand over him and give him shade from the sun. At night, they slept close together. The baby would curl up against his mother's warm body. She would wrap her neck around him like a blanket. The stars came out above them. The wind blew softly through the canyon. Everything felt safe. But on the fourth day, something changed. The air felt different. It felt heavy and thick. The sun seemed bigger and hotter than before. It climbed into the sky and stayed there, burning everything below. The mother horse noticed it first. She lifted her head and sniffed the air. Something was wrong. She had felt this before many years ago. She knew what it meant. The heat was coming. Each day after that, the sun got hotter. The sky was bright blue with no clouds. No rain came. No wind came to cool them down. The air shimmered and danced above the hot ground. The canyon floor started to crack. Long lines appeared in the dry earth. The grass began to turn from green to yellow. Then from yellow to brown. The leaves on the small bushes became dry and brittle. And the precious spring that gave them water began to change. At first, it was just a small change. The water flowed a little bit slower. But the mother horse noticed. She watched it every day. Each day, there was less water than the day before. The stream that used to run fast became a trickle. The trickle became just a few drops. The pool where they drank became smaller and smaller. The wet ground around the spring started to dry up. The baby did not understand what was happening. He still played and ran around. But his mother knew. She knew that without water they would die. The canyon that had been their safe home was becoming a trap. Water is life in the desert. Every animal knows this truth. You can live for days without food. But without water, you will die very fast. Especially in terrible heat like this. The mother horse made a decision. A hard decision. A decision that only a mother could make. She would drink less. Much less. The baby needed the water more than she did. His small body could not survive without drinking. He was still growing. He still needed his mother's milk. And to make milk, she needed to give him the water. So she stepped back from the spring. When there was water, she let her baby drink first. He would put his soft nose in the water and drink, and drink. She would stand behind him, waiting. Her throat was dry. Her mouth felt like sand. But she waited. When the baby finished drinking, there was very little water left. Sometimes just a small puddle. The mother would take only a few sips. Just enough to keep her standing. Just enough to stay alive for one more day. Days passed slowly. The heat got worse. The mother horse began to change. Her dark brown coat lost its shine. Her ribs began to show through her skin. Her strong legs became thin. Her steps became slower and heavier. But still, she protected her baby. Still, she found bits of grass for him to eat. Still, she stood between him and the burning sun, using her own body to give him shade. The baby started to notice that something was wrong with his mother. He stayed closer to her now. He stopped running and playing as much. Sometimes he would push his nose against her, trying to make her feel better. But he did not know how to help. When a few drops of water appeared at the spring, the baby would try to push his mother toward it. He wanted her to drink. But she would always move him forward instead. She would use her head to guide him to the water. "You drink," her actions said. "You need it more." This went on for days. One day became 2. 2 became 3. 3 became a week. Each day was hotter than the last. Each day there was less water. Each day the mother horse became weaker. Her love for her baby kept her standing. When her legs wanted to collapse, she thought of him and stayed up. When she wanted to drink all the water, she thought of him and stepped back. When she wanted to give up, she looked at his innocent face and found the strength to keep going. A mother's love is not just words. It is not just feelings. It is action. It is sacrifice. It is giving everything you have, even when you have nothing left to give. The baby horse did not know that his mother was dying for him. He did not know that every drop of water he drank was a drop she needed. He was too young to understand. He only knew that his mother was there, always there, keeping him safe. But the desert does not care about love. The desert does not care about sacrifice. The desert takes and takes until there is nothing left. And the worst day was still to come.
7 days had passed since the terrible heat began. 7 long days of burning sun and no rain. 7 days of watching the water disappear. 7 days of the mother horse giving everything to keep her baby alive. On the 7th day, at the hottest part of the afternoon, the mother horse fell down. She had been standing in the only shade left in the canyon. It was just a small shadow from a big rock. She was using her own body to block the sun from her baby. The heat pressed down on her like a heavy weight. Her legs shook. Her head felt dizzy. Her heart beat slowly in her chest. She tried to stay standing. She tried so hard, but her body would not listen anymore. Her front legs folded, then her back legs gave way. She sank to the ground like a falling tree. Dust rose up around her. She lay on her side, breathing hard, too weak to get up. The baby was terrified. He had never seen his mother fall before. She was always strong. She was always standing. She was the one who protected him from everything. But now she was on the ground, and she was not getting up. The baby cried out. His voice was high and scared. It echoed off the canyon walls and came back to him. He ran around his mother in circles. He did not know what to do. He pushed at her with his nose. "Get up," he seemed to say. "Please get up." He pushed harder. He pulled at her mane with his teeth. He kicked the ground next to her. But his mother did not stand. She was trying. Inside, she was fighting with everything she had left. She wanted to stand for her baby. She wanted to protect him. But her body was too weak. She had given too much. The desert had taken too much from her. But even lying on the ground, even with her strength almost gone, the mother horse's love did not stop. Her instinct to protect her baby burned like a fire inside her. She lifted her heavy head. It took all her effort. She made a low sound in her throat. It was soft and gentle. "I am here," the sound said. "Do not be afraid. I am still here." The baby heard his mother's voice and came close to her face. He touched his nose to hers. He could feel her warm breath. She was still alive. She was still with him. Then the mother horse did something amazing. Using the very last bit of her strength, she began to move. She could not stand up, but she could drag herself across the ground. Inch by inch, she pulled her body toward the canyon wall, toward the place where the spring used to be. It hurt to move. Every inch was pain, but she kept going. She had to, for her baby. Finally, she reached the spot. There was no water running anymore. The spring had almost dried up completely, but the ground was still a little bit wet. Deep down under the dry dirt, there was still moisture, still hope. The mother horse lifted her front hoof. She brought it down hard on the ground. Once, the earth moved a little. She did it again. Twice. Her hoof dug into the dirt. She did it a third time. 3 times she struck the ground, making a small hole. It was not much, just a shallow dip in the earth. But it was enough. Slowly, very slowly, water began to seep into the little hole she had made. Tiny drops at first, then a little more. The moisture from deep underground was coming up. It collected in the small pool she had created. The mother horse lay her head down. She was exhausted. She could barely breathe. But she had done it. She had made water for her baby. The baby came forward carefully. He smelled the water. He looked at his mother. Then he lowered his head and drank. The water was cool and clean. It was life. His mother watched him drink. Her eyes were half closed, but she could still see him. She could still see her beautiful baby, her light, drinking the water she had found for him. A feeling of peace came over her. She knew the truth now. She knew she was dying. The desert had won. She had fought as hard as she could, but it was not enough. Her body was giving up, but her baby was still drinking. Her baby was still alive, and that meant she had not lost. Not completely. If the rains came tomorrow, he might survive. If someone passed by the canyon, they might save him. If luck smiled on him just once, he might make it. She had bought him time. She had given him a chance. All through that terrible hot afternoon, the mother horse lay by the small pool of water. She did not move. She could not move, but she was still breathing, still watching, still protecting with the only thing she had left, her presence. The baby stayed close to her. He did not play anymore. He did not explore. He just lay down next to his mother's body. He pressed himself against her side. He could hear her heart beating. Slow, weak, but still beating. As the sun began to go down, the air got a little cooler, but not cool enough. The damage was already done. The mother horse knew her time was almost over. Night came to the canyon. The stars appeared one by one in the darkening sky. They looked down on a mother and her baby lying together in the dust. One fighting to stay alive. One too young to understand what was happening. The mother horse kept her eyes open. Every breath was a battle now. Every moment her heart kept beating was a victory. But she would not give up yet. Not yet. She had one more night. One more chance to be with her baby. One more chance to give him the only thing she had left. Her final message. Her last gift. The wisdom she needed to pass on before she left this world forever. She would fight the darkness a little longer. She would stay with him until the sun came up. And in those last precious hours, she would teach him how to survive without her. Because that is what mothers do. They love. They fight. They teach. And when they must leave, they make sure their children know how to carry on. The night was long and quiet. The stars filled the sky like tiny lights. The moon came up big and bright, making the canyon glow with soft silver light. The mother horse lay very still on the ground. Her breathing was slow and hard. Each breath took effort. Each moment was difficult. But she kept breathing. She kept fighting. She had important things to do before she died. The baby was curled up against her chest. His small body was warm against her. He was not sleeping. He knew something was very wrong. He could feel his mother's heart beating slower and slower. Horses cannot talk with words like people do, but they can still say many things. They speak with their eyes. They speak with touch. They speak with sounds and movements. And they pass knowledge from mother to child in ways that go beyond words. The mother horse knew this was her last chance. Her last night. Her last few hours to teach her baby everything he needed to know. Everything that would keep him alive when she was gone. She lifted her head just a little bit. It was so heavy. Everything was so heavy now. But she pushed through the pain. She reached her nose toward her baby's face. The baby felt his mother move. He lifted his head and looked at her. Her eyes were tired, but they were full of love. So much love. The mother touched her nose to his nose. She breathed slowly, letting her breath mix with his breath. She was teaching him her scent, making sure he would never forget it. Never forget where he came from. Never forget who loved him first. She moved her head and pressed her forehead against his forehead. This was the way horses say, "I love you." But it was more than that tonight. She was giving him something. Something invisible but real. She was giving him her strength, her courage, her will to survive. The baby felt it. He did not understand it with his mind, but his heart understood. Something was passing from his mother into him. Something important. something he would carry with him forever. The mother made a soft sound in her throat, a gentle nickering. It was a sound full of meaning. It said many things all at once. Be strong, it said. The world is hard, but you are harder. Be brave, it said. Fear will come, but do not let it stop you. Be smart, it said. Remember what I taught you. Find water. Find food. Run from danger. Be alive, it said. Live for both of us. Live the life I cannot finish. The baby listened to his mother's voice. He would remember this sound forever. Even when he grew old, he would remember the way his mother spoke to him on this night. Hours passed slowly. The moon moved across the sky. The mother horse used every bit of her remaining energy to stay present with her baby. She nuzzled him. She breathed with him. She touched him gently with her face. She was saying goodbye, but she was also saying hello to who he would become. She could see in her mind. She could picture him grown up, strong and fast, running across wide open spaces. Free, wild, alive. Every mother wants to see her children grow up. The mother horse would not get that chance. But in these final hours, she could imagine it. And that brought her peace. As the night grew darker, the mother's breathing became harder. Her body was shutting down. The lack of water had taken too much from her. She had given too much. There was nothing left to give. But she did not feel sad. She felt proud. She had done everything a mother could do. She had protected her baby from the storm on the night he was born. She had taught him how to survive. She had given him every drop of water, every blade of grass, every moment of shade. She had dug the hole that would give him water for a few more days. And now, she was giving him her final gift. The gift of knowing he was loved. The gift of strength and courage. The gift of her spirit. The sky began to change. Black turned to dark blue. Dark blue turned to lighter blue. The stars started to fade. Dawn was coming. The mother horse looked toward the east. She could see the line where the sky met the canyon walls. Light was starting to appear. The sun would rise soon. She wanted to see it one more time. Just one more sunrise. One more chance to feel the warmth on her face. One more moment of light before the darkness came. The baby felt his mother's body relax a little. She was letting go. He pressed closer to her, as if he could hold her here with him, as if his love could keep her alive. The sun broke over the canyon wall. Golden light poured down like honey. It touched the rocks. It touched the ground. It touched the mother horse's face. She closed her eyes and felt the warmth. In her mind, she was not in the canyon anymore. She was running across endless grass. The wind was in her mane. The ground flew beneath her hooves. She was young again, strong again, free again. She saw herself with the great herd, all running together. Thunder of hooves, joy of movement, the wild, beautiful life she had known before. And in her vision, she saw her baby too, grown and strong, running beside her, fast as lightning, free as the wind, living the life she had dreamed for him. The mother horse smiled inside. Yes, this was how it should be. This was right. She took one more breath, deep and slow. She felt her baby's warmth against her. She felt the sun on her face. She felt love in her heart. And then, very gently, very peacefully, she breathed out. Her heart beat one last time. Then it was still. The baby felt the change immediately. His mother's body grew quiet. The gentle rise and fall of her breathing stopped. The warmth began to fade. He cried out, a high, lonely sound that broke the silence of the morning. He called for his mother. Once, twice, 3 times. But she did not answer. She was gone. The sun continued to rise, bringing a new day. A day the mother horse would not see, but a day her baby would face, carrying her love like a light inside him. The baby horse stayed next to his mother's body. He did not want to leave her. He could not understand why she would not wake up, why she would not stand, why she would not protect him anymore. 1 day passed, then 2 days. The baby stayed close. Sometimes he would cry out, hoping his mother would answer. But only silence came back to him, only the wind moving through the empty canyon. He was very alone now, more alone than any creature should ever be. His mother was gone. There were no other horses, no other animals, just him and the rocks and the burning sun. But he was still alive. and being alive meant he needed water. The small pool his mother had dug was still there. Little drops of water still seeped up from the ground. It was not much, but it was enough. The baby drank from it every few hours. Each time he drank, he thought of his mother, how she had made this water for him, how she had used her last strength to save him. He ate the dry grass that grew in small patches. It was not good grass anymore. The heat had killed most of it, but he found enough to keep going. His mother had taught him which plants to eat. Her lessons were keeping him alive. On the third morning after his mother died, something changed. The baby woke up and felt different air. It was cooler. The sky looked different too. Instead of bright blue, there were clouds. Big dark clouds rolling in from the west. The wind picked up. It blew through the canyon, making dust swirl in the air. The baby lifted his head and smelled the wind. There was something in it, something he had never smelled before. Rain. The clouds grew darker and darker. They covered the whole sky. The bright sun disappeared behind them. Thunder rumbled in the distance, deep and low like drums. The baby remembered thunder. He had been born in a storm. His mother had protected him from it. But his mother was not here anymore. He was alone. He felt afraid. But then he remembered something. He remembered his mother's last message. Be strong. Be brave. Live. The first drops of rain started to fall. One drop, then another, then more and more. The drops were cold and wet. They hit the dry ground and made small puffs of dust. Then the sky opened up. Rain poured down like a waterfall from the clouds. It came fast and hard, soaking everything in seconds. The baby stood in the rain. Water ran down his face. It soaked his light-colored coat. It washed away the dust and dirt. He opened his mouth and drank the rain. It was cool and clean and wonderful. All around him, the canyon came back to life. The spring burst forth again, water flowing strong and clear. The dry ground drank the rain like it was starving. Little streams formed, running down the rocks. Puddles appeared everywhere. The rain fell for a long time. The baby stood there, getting wetter and wetter. But he was not afraid anymore. The rain was washing away his fear. It was washing away his sadness. It felt like the sky was crying for his mother, like nature itself was saying goodbye to her. As he stood there, he heard something, a sound that was not thunder, not wind, not rain, something else. Hoofbeats. The baby's ears shot forward. He turned his head toward the sound. His heart began to beat faster. Over the edge of the canyon, through the rain, came horses. Real horses. Living horses. A whole group of them. It was a small wild herd. Maybe 10 or 12 horses. They had been driven toward the canyon by the storm, looking for shelter, looking for water. They came down the rocky slope carefully. The rain made everything slippery, but they were wild horses. They knew how to move on rough ground. The baby watched them come closer. He did not know what to do. Should he run? Should he hide? He had never seen other horses before. Only his mother. The herd came to the spring and began to drink. They were thirsty from traveling. The rain had brought them here, to this hidden place, at exactly the right time. One horse separated from the group. She was a mare, older and wise. She had scars on her body from many years of life. Her coat was gray like storm clouds. She was the leader of this small herd. The gray mare saw the baby standing alone in the rain. She saw how small he was, how thin, how scared. She looked past him and saw the body of his mother, now partly covered by mud and rain. The gray mare understood immediately. This baby was an orphan. His mother had died protecting him. She had seen this before in her long life. The desert took many mothers, left many babies alone. She walked slowly toward the baby. Her steps were gentle. She did not want to scare him. The baby watched her come close. He wanted to run away, but something stopped him. This mare's eyes reminded him of his mother. Kind, gentle, safe. The gray mare came right up to the baby. She lowered her big head and sniffed him. She smelled his mother on him. She smelled his fear. She smelled his loneliness. Then she did something beautiful. She touched her forehead to his forehead, just like his mother used to do, just like his mother had done on that last night. The baby felt tears mix with the rain on his face. This stranger was showing him kindness, showing him he was not alone anymore. The gray mare made a soft sound, a welcoming sound. She turned and walked toward her herd. Then she looked back at the baby. "Come," her look said. "You belong with us now." The baby hesitated. He looked back at where his mother lay. The rain was covering her with earth, returning her to the desert. Soon she would become part of the land, part of the canyon, forever. But she would also be part of him, in his heart, in his memories, in the strength she had given him, in the love that would never die. The baby turned toward the gray mare. He took one step, then another. His legs were stronger now. His mother's sacrifice had given him time to grow, time to survive, time to find his herd. He walked toward the horses. The gray mare waited for him. When he reached her, she touched him gently with her nose. The other horses gathered around him. They accepted him, protected him, made him part of their family. The rain continued to fall. The canyon filled with water and life. Green shoots would grow tomorrow. Flowers would bloom. Life would return. The baby horse looked up at the gray mare. She was not his mother. No one could ever replace his mother. But she was hope. She was a future. She was a second chance. As the herd began to move out of the canyon, heading to new places, the baby followed. He was still sad. He would always miss his mother. But he was alive. He was safe. He had found a family. His mother's final message had come true. He had survived. He had been strong. He had been brave. He had lived. And as he walked away from the canyon with his new herd, he carried his mother's spirit with him. In every step, in every breath, in every beat of his young, strong heart. The mother mare had given everything. And because of her love, her baby would run free, would grow strong, would have the wild, beautiful life she had dreamed for him. Her sacrifice was not the end. It was a beginning, a legend born not in glory, but in impossible, unbreakable love. The kind of love that changes destiny. The kind of love that lives forever.